So I have this quote for you guys, and it's by Manson, the author of A Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck and Everything is Fucked. Great books, by the way, you should really check them out. But I'll put the quotes up here. I'll tell you I'll put the quotes up here. This is what he says. One day, you and everyone you love will die. And beyond the small group of people, for an extremely brief period of time, little of what you say or do will ever matter. This is the uncomfortable truth of life. And everything you think or do is but an elaborate avoidance of it. We are inconsequential cosmic dust, bumping and milling about on a tiny blue speck. We imagine our own importance. We invent our purpose. We are nothing. It's kind of deep. It's a deep thing to say, but it gets me thinking, and it keeps me remembering that there's a lot to life, but there really isn't anything to it at all. And I think it inspired me to write the script for this video, and we'll talk about that. We work, right? We are taught to work, to make money, to feel fulfilled. I feel like that's not the whole story, and there's something missing in it, because you can make all the money in the world and still be unhappy. You can be happy with little to no money at all. And you can ask the people in the village who farm and tell stories under the moonlight. But I feel like there's a whole lot more to it. For me, I see money as a currency, but not currency in the conventional sense of having dollars versus naira and pounds and all of that. But I see it as a resource exchange, and it's just something that can be exchanged for something else. Today I want us to talk about that, and you guys can go over there and we'll talk some more. I will be playing a game till you get back. Go. So this is actually the book where the quotes is, and I think you should really check it out if you haven't. But when we come into the world, and I was talking about money as a resource, when we come into the world, we come into the world with just one finite resource that actually finishes when we leave the world. When we leave the world, we leave behind all the money that we haven't spent. We leave behind the real estate, the buildings, the companies, everything that we've gathered over time. But once we go, this particular resource is done. Your story is written, your records are kept, and you can't do more, you have no more, and there's nothing you can do about it. And this resource is our time. I like to call time our life currency, because it's what we actually spend to get every other thing. And that might be a controversial statement, because you say some people make money in their sleep. They only make money in their sleep because they've spent some form of their life currency. Maybe not even them, but someone else has spent some form of their life currency to make that happen. They've invested in skills, or they've invested in other people, that time that they have, and then they are able to get it back in the form of another resource. And then that time that they're using to sleep, they're still using their life currency to do something, but then it's to rest. But at the end of the day, you're always spending your time. I've mentioned in previous videos that I try to make deposits of life equity into like the bank of life. So I try to ask myself, if I keep spending my time the way I did today, the same way every single day for the rest of my life, will I end up in the position that I would really like to be in life? And that just helps me keep myself in check and helps me review what I've done and make sure that I'm able to take a step back where have moved in the wrong direction. But once you're done, you're done. At the end of it, you get your receipts, you get a record of everything you've done, and you've done everything you can ever do, and you won't be able to do anything else. If you are supposed to feed your dog a special treat or a special bone, best believe you've robbed that dog of that experience, because you will never be able to feed your dog again. And this is why we need to make the best use of our time while we are still here and while we still have it. Time is what we exchange to get everything. Every single thing. If you go to work, you're exchanging your time for money. That's why it's called compensation. If you go to school, you're exchanging your time for knowledge. If you're cooking, you're exchanging your time for food. And if you're in the toilet, you get what I'm trying to say. Personally, I feel like our goal in life is to make the best use of this, our life currency, to spend the least amount of it trying to get other things like money, like food, and make sure that we spend it on things that are actually important to us. We need to exchange it to get greater value and create things that will outlive us even when our time is done, right? And this is where you hear passion coming in. I don't really like the word passion. I prefer to call it like your life meaning or your life purpose. And I think we should head back there to discuss more about life purpose. Oh, hey. I hope the big title card has played so you guys know why we're here. But people often think of life purpose as something that we're all magically born with, and that if you haven't discovered your own, then that's why your life isn't working out. You have to go out and find it, and if you don't, then you're a failure. I don't necessarily think so. I think purpose is the result of action and not the cause of it. So you would do something and then become passionate about it, rather than going out into the world and finding some magical purpose and then you start doing it. It's usually something that you're already doing and then you find purpose in it and you put your life currency, you put your time, you put your value into it and make it grow. If you think you have to go out somewhere and find it, then you probably don't even care at all. It'll be something that you end up doing and then you just realize that you're great in it because you've tried a lot of things. So we should really be trying stuff. We'll find it somehow. Now, passion doesn't necessarily make you good at something. Ronaldo still has to train, even though he's the greatest of all time. Sorry, Messi fans. But this is where work and training and life currency investment comes in, because you have to put value, and our real value is our time, right? So you have to put value into something to make it mean something or be valuable. For example, a guitarist would take all the time required to rehearse and train and practice for hundreds of hours for a 2-hour or 1-hour show, but he has invested all that value into himself to create that small pocket of real mastery where he can perform on stage and get well compensated for it, to be able to then exchange that money for other things, and he has his time back to practice and then perform again and continue the cycle. You get the idea. Now, I know you might be thinking, how can I find my purpose? Or I've tried and it's not working out. But I have some questions that could help us out, and let's move back there so we can talk about it, okay? You're back here already. There's still more to cover before you get back. No, go back. All right, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's actually the first question, and it's, what's your favorite flavor of pain sandwich? Everything comes at a cost. You need to make sacrifices. You need to be able to do things that others are not willing to do. Personally, I don't believe in the statement where people say if you follow your passion or your dreams, you'd never work a day in your life. That's not true. Everything turns into work at some point, and you're going to have to sacrifice something. You're going to have to sacrifice your life currency into it. And you wouldn't want to do this every single time. Take someone like Burna Boy, for example. He sells out shows, he's living his dream, living his best life, but I can promise you that there are some nights that he might just want to take a nap, but he can't do that. And beyond the commercial contracts that he signed with his sponsors and all of that, he has an obligation to his fans. and that becomes work. So you have to turn up on even on the days that you don't want to. Your passion is going to be full of unpleasant experiences, rejection, and pain, but you just have to slap a bit of peanut butter on that and take the next bite and the next, because at the end of the day, it's your favorite flavor of pain sandwich, right? So you just have to. And this becomes a competitive advantage. You're able to do the things that people are not willing to do. You're able to go the extra mile because, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it's painful, but you're willing to take that pain and you're willing to go that distance. Now, the world has problems, and this is where the second question comes in. Which world problem are you going to replace? Problems will never go away. Problems are only replaced by better problems. In fact, problems are actually the default, and things being in order are just a temporary arrangement. If you know about entropy, that's a degree of chaos in a closed system, and it tends upward with time. So there's more chaos, more problems, more things going wrong as time goes on. It's natural. Problems are only replaced with better problems. Humans went from feeding horses to fueling cars, from having to send out letters through the mail and wait for months for a response, to having to buy data or subscribe for your internet subscription to be able to send an email. But these are still problems, and these problems are what gives the human race strength and its uniqueness in the world. And it's your job to find your own problem to solve and look for what value you're going to leave behind for the people that are going to be left after you're gone. For some people, it's curing diseases. For some others, it's cracking jokes on stage. But at the end of the day, you're solving a problem for others, and this is where you find meaning in your life. The problems we solve usually outlive us, and this is where you write your name in the sands of time and you become immortalized. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He invested his life currency into building a light bulb, making all the mistakes that he made just to get to the right one, and now his value lives on whenever you switch on a light bulb. Some good advice would be to replace a problem that you currently experience. For example, if you don't like the way people cut hair.
See my hairline when they here before, see the hairline for here, you cut they give me, what be this? What be this?
You could go open your own barbing salon or your hairdressing salon or whatever and do it in your own special way and solve that problem.
Blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus.
Because you'd have the best insights and know how to actually tackle the thing. Now, the third one is funny, and this is how do you embarrass yourself better? Looking crazy or foolish is part of the journey to doing great things. And take this guy, for example, who we all probably know. He had to go from this to get to this. Now, I'm sure there's something you want to do, you've been thinking about. I'm sure as we're talking now, you have it in your head. Yeah, that thing. But you're too worried about what people are going to think. Oh my God, I'm going to embarrass myself. First of all, I would like to let you know, I have some bad news that no one actually cares. People don't care as much as you think. Everyone is the main hero in their own story, and you are just a side character. But the good news is, you are the main hero in your own story, and you can write your story anyhow you want to. Great things are by nature unique and unconventional, and those words could be used to describe stupid things as well. Now, do you see the relationship? Now, those are just some of the questions, and this topic is quite deep, and I'm sure I'll be talking a lot about stuff like this on this channel, but it's just stuff that I've been thinking about. But thanks a lot for sticking to the end. And recently I've been inspired by this book by Dan Coe, The Art of Focus. That's the audiobook I'm listening to now. It's this one here. If you like content like this, I would really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to see more content like this, and just to follow on the journey of life together. And you could connect with me on my socials. I'll put them down and let's just talk. Also, I've been trying to experiment with different forms of filmmaking and creativity and trying different things and seeing what sticks. So expect more crazy stuff from me. But thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.